The courtroom was packed, a hushed tension vibrating through the air as Judge Harrington banged his gavel, demanding order. At the center of the storm stood Isabella Grant, her composure strained but her eyes resolute, facing accusations that threatened not only her career but the very core of her dignity. Across the room, Victor Kane, a towering figure of corporate power, watched with a cold, calculating stare, his legal team meticulously organized, every detail designed to crush her credibility. The charges were staggering: embezzlement of over $5 million, falsified financial statements, and conspiracy to defraud shareholders. It was a case that had gripped national headlines, painting Isabella as a villain in the court of public opinion before a single word had been spoken inside the courtroom. Standing beside Isabella was Ethan Marshall, her defense attorney, whose reputation for brilliance was rivaled only by the intensity he brought to his cases. Ethan was known for his theatrical courtroom presence, his ability to sway juries not just with logic but with an emotional appeal that cut through the cold technicalities of law. But this case was different. This was personal. Years ago, Ethan and Isabella had been more than colleagues. Their partnership had bordered on the unspoken, an intimacy rooted in trust and ambition. Now, the courtroom was not just a battlefield of legal strategies but a crucible of buried emotions, unspoken regrets, and fragile loyalties. The opening statement set the tone for a trial that would blur the line between law and morality. Victor Kane's lead counsel painted a damning picture, detailing transactions that appeared fraudulent, emphasizing betrayal and greed, and framing Isabella as a mastermind who had manipulated trust for personal gain. The prosecutor's voice was clinical, almost detached, but carried the weight of public outrage, referencing every financial document, every bank transfer, every email that could tie Isabella to Kane Industries' missing millions. The audience, the jury, and even the seasoned journalists in the back row felt the intensity. It was more than a case. It was a spectacle, a drama unfolding in real time with the lives of everyone involved hanging precariously in balance. Ethan's turn was different. He didn't just present facts. He wove a narrative, a human story within the legal framework. He reminded the court of Isabella's years of dedication, her meticulous attention to detail, her unwavering loyalty to Kane Industries before Kane himself had shown a trace of duplicity. He introduced witnesses who testified not just to the financial records, but to Isabella's integrity, her tireless commitment, and the ethical decisions she had made even when they conflicted with Kane's increasingly ruthless demands. Every word was deliberate, every pause designed to make the jury feel the weight of truth and justice, not just the letter of the LAW. As the trial progressed, documents that had seemed damning at first glance were dissected with forensic precision. Emails surfaced showing Victor Kane's own manipulations, forged signatures, and attempts to divert funds while framing Isabella. Witnesses, once hesitant, now revealed under oath the complexity of corporate schemes that had entangled Kane Industries for years, laying bare a web of deceit that pointed toward Kane himself rather than the woman in the defendant's chair. The courtroom was electric with tension, as each revelation chipped away at the seemingly airtight case against Isabella. But the drama was not just in the evidence. It was in the courtroom itself, in the moments when Ethan's voice broke slightly as he recounted Isabella's sacrifices, when a juror's expression softened at a poignant detail, when Isabella's hands trembled as she listened to the proof of her innocence unfolding like a story she had never expected to live publicly. Each cross-examination became a duel of intellect and emotion, every objection a spark igniting a flurry of anticipation among spectators who felt they were witnessing not merely a legal battle, but a moral reckoning. Days turned into weeks. The courtroom became a theater where truth and perception clashed. Victor Kane grew visibly frustrated, his carefully constructed arguments unraveling under Ethan's relentless questioning. The prosecution's narrative faltered as contradictions emerged in witness statements and evidence timelines. And then, in a dramatic moment that would be remembered long after the verdict, Ethan presented the final piece of evidence, a set of emails that proved Kane's intent to defraud his own shareholders while framing Isabella as a scapegoat. The room fell silent, the weight of revelation pressed down on everyone present. Even Judge Harrington's stern gaze softened for a moment, acknowledging the gravity of the truth laid bare before the court. Ethan stood, his presence commanding, his voice a mixture of reason and raw emotion. He appealed to the jury not merely to interpret documents, but to see the human story within them, to recognize the courage and resilience of a woman betrayed by the very person she trusted most. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, This is not just a question of numbers or contracts. This is about integrity, justice, and the courage to stand for truth in the face of overwhelming deceit. You are not merely deciding a case. You are witnessing the triumph of truth over manipulation, of justice over ambition. And in doing so, you will restore not only the law, but faith in the human spirit. The jury deliberated with the weight of history on their shoulders. Hours stretched into tense anticipation, every tick of the clock a reminder of the life-altering decision that hung in the balance. And when the verdict finally came, delivered with solemnity by Judge Harrington, it was a collective exhale, a declaration of innocence that validated every risk, every sacrifice, and every tear shed in the pursuit of truth. Isabella wept quietly, her hand clutching Ethan's in silent gratitude. Victor Kane's composure cracked, a rare moment of human vulnerability revealing the cost of his ambition. As the courtroom emptied, the world outside remained oblivious to the intricate human story that had just played out within its walls. But for those who had witnessed it, it was unforgettable, a tale of betrayal and redemption, of courage under pressure, of justice served not only through law but through the raw power of human emotion and determination. And for Ethan and Isabella, it was more than a victory. It was a testament to resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of deceit, truth has a way of rising, unyielding and unstoppable.